Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a sketchbook tour for you. This sketchbook I made by myself, so it's made with cardboard for the covers, so it's nice and lightweight. The paper on the inside is offcuts from printed pieces that would have otherwise ended up in the recycling system, so that way the paper is being reused. It's got some art on it. It's not the best sketchbook paper, but it was what I had available, and it seemed like a waste to just chuck it in the recycling bin, even though it would get recycled, of course. So the stickers on the front here, this one is from a company called Stay Home Club, which, given recent events, is pretty on brand, pretty on point. These clear vinyl cave horse stickers are my own, and you can purchase them in my Etsy shop. There's a link in the description below. And on the back here, just a few more stickers, two more that I did a while ago that aren't for sale or anything, but I just have them around. And yeah, I think that this sketchbook size is like one of my favorite sizes. I used to be able to buy sketchbooks in this size, in this square size, but I haven't been able to find them lately, so I just made my own. This one went from February 19th to about, ooh, let's see, what did I write at the back? Oh, exactly 3 months. So February 19th, February, March, April, May to May 19th, 2020. Just doing some internal math. If I got that wrong, please forgive me. But yeah, the first page here, just testing out some studies. I got really back into Lord of the Rings and the Silmarillion, like very briefly. I meant to do more about it, but I just did some sketches in this book here. So you can see that the paper does take a little bit of like watercolor and doesn't complain too much. Here are some drawings of my pet lizard, but as a dragon, and then some other dragons over here. That was sort of a fun experiment. The problem with this paper, being that it's printing paper, of course, is that it absorbs ink really well, because that's what you want with a printed piece. You don't want the ink just sitting on the surface. So when you're using stuff like markers or pens, it absorbs the ink really fast, and it's hard to draw with because it like wants to suck onto your brush. If that makes sense. So one side of it is fine for ink because that's the reverse side of the printing paper, but the other side is like a greedy monster that wants to eat your brushes. So I tried a few like with brush pens at the front, but it felt weird. It looks fine, but it just feels really weird to draw, so it wasn't so pleasant. These are a few studies I did from vintage portraits, and then I did one of my own over here, sort of the idea of Elbereth or Varda from the Silmarillion, the Lady of the Stars, and she has like this veil here. This very, very faint drawing that you probably can't see is just some work, some thumbnails for work, for freelance stuff. And I guess I was grumpy because this is a self-portrait. Over on this page, I did some drawings during a lecture that happened at the Royal Tyrrell Museum. So just some Tyrannosaurs. And then there was a joke about demonstrating with sock puppets, so I drew that too. This piece here is a Balrog, just a really loose doodle. I'm not fully convinced about this design. It's hard because like you can't beat the design that ended up in Peter Jackson's Fellowship of the Ring. It's the best design ever. So it's kind of basically like doing variations on a theme to make something your own rather than just copying that exact design because it's so good. These are some work doodles that I did during meetings. Usually I don't like to bring too much to meetings. I never bring my phone. Some people bring their phones, but I basically don't trust myself. So usually just a sticky note and a pen, and that'll keep me busy enough, and I have a place to write notes if I need to. This spread here is sort of a Mad Max type character, sort of going for some Fury Road vibes. I like all of the Mad Max films, but they're very different in their aesthetics. Like the first one is very minimal. They probably made that movie for like $10. And then of course, you know, Road Warrior has more of the sort of the bondage gear and the sports gear and stuff. And then I don't even know what's going on in Thunderdome, but I think Fury Road has such a good aesthetic to it. I think that's like the last really, really good movie that came out. Fury Road, like so innovative, so like unashamedly its own thing. There hasn't been a movie like that in ages now. I think most movies are quite poorly, in my opinion. I wish there were more better movies coming out. Here are just some sort of Viking type sketches. I've been watching, well, I was watching quite a bit of Vikings, but then I got kind of annoyed with it. Like around season 3, it started getting crappier, I feel. And then I got partway through season 4, but I wasn't convinced, I guess. So I switched to The Last Kingdom, which is a vastly superior show. This is just a really nice postcard that came with a pair of leggings that I bought. I really like the leggings that Girlfriend Collective does. They're all from recycled materials, and they fit really good. They're really sturdy, really, really sturdy. So the price point is kind of high, but it's worth it. Like I've had my pairs for years and they haven't even ripped at all once. This page here is how I do those dino comics that I sometimes post on my Instagram, just for fun. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, the link is also in the description below, and I post fairly frequently there. But yeah, I'll do the sketch, and then I did the inks on tracing paper and just stuck it in here for safekeeping, basically. These were the portraits that I did in a previous video where I sort of explained how I draw faces from references. So if you're interested in that, check out my channel. It'll be in there. A few more sort of Viking type characters. This one was using some brush pens, and again, like, they work okay in this sketchbook, but it's just a different feeling than if you were using it on paper made for markers or made for inks. Oh, over here is some very important planning. So part of my sketchbook, of course, is just like planning stuff out. So this is the list that I'm using for my Alpha Bestiary project, as well as the sketch here for the Erymanthian boar. So those are coming along, and I can't wait to show you the finished series. If you want to see all of them so far, again, my Instagram is linked in the description below. That's where I've been posting all of the scans so far. Here are some really quick silly doodles I did while watching The Fifth Element. I love The Fifth Element. It's probably one of my favorite movies, and definitely one of my most watched movies. Like, it's probably The Fifth Element, Lost in Translation, Star Wars, 1 through 6. Probably we watch The Phantom Menace the most. It depends. And what else do I watch a lot? The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I just really like that one. Here are some more rough sketches for a freelance job. So these are just the pencils that I will send to a client to show them what I'm going for. And I did some of them with pencil because I like drawing with pencil alone, but some of them I did digitally because I find that's sometimes easier for figuring out the proportions on figures, because you have a little more control. I think you'll see here, I started drawing this guy and I was like, ew, like why did I draw that so poorly? So I switched to digital at that point because I don't know, sometimes just switching mediums also helps shake up your mind and make the drawings better, basically. More sketches for the Alpha Bestiary project. So this is Fenrir, F for Fenrir, and G for Gamayun, a type of sort of bird-headed woman from Slavic mythology. It's a hippocamp, an ichneumon, and a jackalope. I really like this one, how the ichneumon turned out. I'm really, like, it was fun to just fit it into a rectangle, right? Because that's the letter I. And that was like the first sketch too, like I just went for it. Sometimes I have to do a few iterations to get it out, but like this one just came out of my mind. It was ready to go. It was a really nice feeling. This page here, just some collage, collecting some pictures that I like, that inspire me. I don't get a lot of magazines now. I have a couple that come in. I get like the magazine from the AMA, just the Motorists Association, and they'll do like local stuff, so that's why there's like horses and buffalo and stuff, because I sort of live in the west, the Wild West. And then I get a couple magazines from places that I've donated money to. Especially the Nature Conservancy of Canada sends out a really nice magazine with like matte paper. Oh, it's nice. It's really nice. Couple more rough sketches. K for Koresh and L for Lamassu. Like sometimes this is all I need, and I know it's like not super interesting to look at here, but this gives me the template I need to then go to the final painting. Because I find if I'm trying to copy a tight sketch to another tight sketch, then, you know, you're thinking too hard, I guess. But when you're just starting with the basic shapes, then that gives you the room to improvise and explore in the final sketch, and then it has a little more life to it, if that makes sense. Also, I'm lazy. I don't want to do the same drawing exactly twice. That's a waste of time. Yeah, this next page here was some sketches for the M for Musamon, which is a half sheep, half goat heraldic animal, so it would appear on coats of arms and stuff like that. Nemean lion for N. O is for Ogopogo, which is the Canadian contribution to this list of critters. P, I had a hard time deciding which to go with. There are a lot of mythical creatures that start with P. But you know what? I went for the classic. I went for a phoenix. Just kind of had to. This page here was the draw with me last week. So if you want to listen to me talk about stuff, I don't even know what I talked about in that. But yeah, here's that final spread. And a couple of dinosaur sketches here. I get comments mostly on my Instagram, people like, why don't you draw dinosaurs anymore? You should draw more dinosaurs. And part of that is because, you know, I was drawing dinosaurs so often a couple years ago because I wanted to get a job at the Dinosaur Museum. And having gotten that job, now I don't need to practice as much. I mean, obviously I should still be practicing, but my practice is also stuff that I can't show you because it's done for work, and there are rules about what I can post and what I can't post, and also just, you know, common courtesy. I don't want to be showing everything to everyone. So that's like, I draw dinosaurs, but not usually for myself anymore, if that makes sense. So, but I drew a few here, and I really like how this sketch turned out. I might blow up this sketch actually and do a watercolor painting of it. That would be really fun. So I'm gonna make sure to put that on my list because I just like how it turned out. It's sort of stylized, but it's also like, it's really nice. It shows off the feathers and the plumage. So yeah, I like that one. And obviously when you're sketching, especially like poses and whatever, you're gonna have a lot of duds. Like some of these I don't like at all, but this one, that's a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. This page here is some sketches for ones that I have not painted yet for the alphabet. Keelan, Ramidrehu, Selkie, and the Turtruith, which is another pig like the Erymanthian boar. Very similar. I wouldn't be surprised if they came from sort of similar oral lineages, because it's a giant boar that you have to fight that's so hard to fight. But that shows up in a lot of myths. So that's the Welsh version basically. And I like how this sketch turned out as well. Just a sort of a pretty couple of elf women. I like the flow of the fabric on this one. And this is done with a Blackwing pencil, so those are really nice pencils. And that one, I think, was my favorite pencil to use in this sketchbook. Not that it really matters, like, I don't know who's going to have a sketchbook made exactly of this paper, which is not meant for drawing, it's meant for printing. But yeah, the Blackwing still worked really well on it. And some other collage here. I think this one definitely is from the Nature Conservancy of Canada donor magazine, because it's got that really nice, like, matte newsprint finish, if you can see there. Tasty. And then since I finished The Last Kingdom, I started watching the series Hollywood on Netflix. It's a little formulaic, but and kind of like, I don't know, I don't want to I'm only a couple episodes in. I don't want to like critique it too hard, but it's funny, so I'll probably keep watching it on my laptop. A couple of dragons, a Viking sort of masthead type dragon there. And this drawing I like. Oh, this is inspired by another show that I was watching recently on Netflix, a Netflix series called Freud, which of course is about Sigmund Freud, but sort of with a very occult twist on it. So he's like solving murders and people are getting possessed. But the main girl in the show, Fleur, she gets some really amazing, like, wild witch woman looks to her, and it's super duper cool. So this is sort of an homage to that. It's not based exactly on the actress, but it's based on the vibe, I guess. So I think that one turned out quite nice. I like her hair. And then the color is just from some Posca paint pens that I have. I don't have a lot of those, so I don't use them that much, because I feel like for it to become a big part of my process, I'd need so many colors because I'm picky. But I've seen other people like really take them and make them work for them. I can't list everybody right now, but some people are like paint marker wizards. I am not one of those. This is the last funny little page. I like this goofy little like cockatrice type chicken dragon. He looks a little bit concerned. I think he's adorable. And again, just some color with the paint markers for fun. And the final page is just some collage stuff. Sticker from a Kickstarter that I backed. And some cool T-Rex stamps from the States. This one is actually lenticular. Let's see if I can show it on camera. Yeah, see, it's like skin, bones, skin, bones, skin, bones. So obviously I had to keep those, so I just put those in the back of the sketchbook for safekeeping. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more sketchbook tours, I have a playlist of all of them on my channel here. You can also like and subscribe to this channel for more sketchbook videos in the future. There's going to be a really good watercolor sketchbook coming up that will be finished shortly. It's one of the Arteza watercolor sketchbooks. My Arteza affiliate link is also in the description below if you want to do a little bit of shopping, a little bit of treat yourself. I'll talk more about the sketchbook in the video that obviously features it. But it's going to be really good. It's got some good paintings in it, I promise. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!